Good morning, everyone. We're going to play the medley for each branch of service. As you hear your song, would you please rise? Good morning. Who could ask for a better day? Hoorah! The Veterans Commission, in conjunction with the Tinley Park Village, welcomes each and every one of you to the Memorial Day ceremony. This year, 2022, marks the 156th year that our nation pays homage to those brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice of their life in battle or upon death having served in our military. My name is Dr. William Douglas Rasmussen. I am chairman of the Tinley Park Veterans Commission and will serve this morning as your master of ceremony. I want to share with you two reminders as you leave the ceremony today. The first one, at 3 p.m. today, stop whatever it is you are doing. I'll explain why. In December 2000, the United States Congress passed and the President signed into law the National Moment of Remembrance Act. This law ensures that the sacrifices of America's fallen will never be forgotten. The National Moment of Remembrance encourages all Americans to pause whatever they are doing at exactly 3 p.m. local set time to remember and honor those who have died in service to this nation. As you leave today, please set your clocks and ask Siri or Alexa to remind you. The second thing, the Veterans Commission would like to invite all of you attending today's ceremony to enjoy a free light luncheon and refreshments to be served at American Legion Post 615, located, if you don't know, at 17423 67th Court. It will follow immediately after our ceremony. Before proceeding, I'd like to ask you to silence your electronic devices. Thank you. The music that welcomes you today was provided by the Andrew High School Band under the direction of Mr. Mark Owinski. Mr. Owinski, would you please recognize your band? Please give them your applause. We are forever grateful for the unwavering support that the Andrew High School Band has provided year in and year out for our ceremonies put on by the Tinley Park Veterans Commission. The Tinley Park Veterans Commission expresses our gratitude to the Scouts and parents of Troop 65523 for distributing our flags and programs this morning. Thank you, Scouts, and we salute you. Our Scout this morning is Isabella Escalona. She is junior level in her troop. The color guard this morning is comprised of members of American Legion Post 615, Lieutenant Clark, Tinley Park Marine Corps Lead Detachment 1217, and VFW Bremen Post 2791. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the posting of the colors and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the National Anthem. Our National Anthem will be performed a cappella by Miss Mandy Berry. Officer of the Day, take charge.
Half still. Forward. Park. Present. Park. Mark time. Mark. Detail. Halt. 1, 2. Post the color. Post. Post the unit colors. Post. Detail. Right face. Next step. Forward. Park. Where'd my other two go? They went the wrong way. Step it up. All right. Order arms.
Present arms. pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Mandy. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be seated? Our vocalist, Mandy Berry, is a devoted supporter of our veterans. She has performed at ceremonies honoring our veterans throughout the Chicagoland area. We're grateful that she has performed at several of our ceremonies here in Tinley Park. She is a founding member of the Bygone Gals, singing songs of the bygone days, accompanied by, who would have ever guessed, her mom. Mandy's motivation to pursue singing and songwriting is attributed to the pride she feels to honor the memory of her great-grandfather, Marine Corporal Gino Czerniewski. He served during the Korean War. Would you please join me with your applause for her fabulous performance this morning? I invite Father Paul Seaman, pastor of St. George Catholic Parish, to lead the invocation. Father Seaman.
Yes. I'll let it be removed. What an honor it is to be here with all of you, and especially our veterans, as we remember those who did not make it home. So we ask now that we take a moment and please bow your head in prayer. Father of all creation, author of freedom and source of courage, we gather today to give you thanks. We honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice to preserve, protect, and defend this great country, and we the people blessed to be the United States of America. As we see the freedom and sovereignty of Ukraine threatened, and we daily watch the liberties of people across the globe endangered, so we beg the courage to stand strong for the weak, the generosity to give of ourselves, and the sacred insight to see within every person a brother or sister whose father is you. As we bring to mind those who have died in the fight for justice, help us to forever and always honor their memory, revere their sacrifice, and labor with boundless determination towards a more perfect union. We ask this in the name of your sacred, we ask this in your sacred name. Amen.
Thank you, Father Paul. Today is Memorial Day. Today is one of our national holidays. We should always remember that Memorial Day is not a day of jubilant celebration that announces the opening of swimming pools and summer festivities. It is, however, a solemn day of remembrance. Many of us post our nation's flags and the POWMIP flag that honors those missing in action or prisoners of war. It is the last Monday in May in which we proclaim to honor those in our military who fought so valiantly on foreign shores, land, sea, and air to preserve our heritage of freedom here and in places where freedom is desired. It is a day of special tribute to those who died in service to this country and those who served but have not been accounted for. The families who serve here today, comrades present here today, have gathered to never forget them, and our nation promises they will never be forgotten. We must honor the legacy of our military men and women who are no longer with us in life, but who are forever in memoriam. President John F. Kennedy once said, "Our servicemen and women are serving throughout the world as guardians of peace, many of them away from their homes, their friends, and their families. They are visible evidence of our determination to meet any threat to the peace with measured strength and high resolve. They are also evidence of a harsh but inescapable truth, that the survival of freedom requires great cost and commitment and great personal sacrifice." President Kennedy was a great leader of our nation and a respected man throughout the world. Great leadership is also needed at the local level, too. Being mayor shoulders great responsibility to our community, where living life amplified isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. Presiding as our mayor of Tinley Park, would you join me in welcoming the Honorable Michael W. Glotz, Mr. Mayor.
Every year we gather here to remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our freedoms and the American way of life. I'm honored to once again be before you to offer some remarks about what Memorial Day means to not just me and Tinley Park community, but to the entire nation. Before we begin, I want to thank the Tinley Park Veterans Commission and its chairperson, Dr. Doug Rasmussen. And all of our village staff who assisted in making this event happen today. I want to thank our first responders, my fellow elected officials that are here with us today, and Mayor Gary Grasso from Burr Ridge who came to attend today. Thank you. There's an elementary truth that I think we can all agree on. Without the men and women who have put country over self to serve in the military throughout the years, none of us would be here today. They paid for our freedoms with their lives. And it's both because of them and for them that we're gathered here today. On behalf of myself, Clerk Nancy O'Connor, and our village trustees, I'd like to thank everyone who has served and continues to serve in all the branches of our military. Your sacrifice and service to our nation and the willingness to put your lives on the line to protect the freedoms we all enjoy make you all of our heroes. Tinley Park is a proud and supportive military community. From the VFW to the American Legion to the Marine Corps to the Korean War Veterans Association, we have great veteran organizations here in Tinley Park. They provide needed services for returning veterans and help ensure those who didn't make it back are never forgotten. And for that, we are very grateful. I just want to take a moment to recognize our military families especially our Gold Star families, which include the families of Kevin Clark and Michael Sutter. These two fallen local heroes are the epitome of service, duty, and sacrifice. We will never forget. This Memorial Day and for all the days that follow, I join you in remembering all the heroes that couldn't be here with us today, and I stand in proud salute to those that continue to serve for us. May God continue to bless our military, our nation, and each of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to introduce to you some of the members of our village that are here today. Pat Carr, Village Manager and Staff Liaison. Colleen Sullivan, Trustee and Board Liaison to the Veterans Commission. William P. Brady, Trustee. William A. Brennan, Trustee. Diane M. Galante, Trustee. Nancy O'Connor, Village Clerk. Brad Bentonhausen, Tinley Park Historian and former Treasurer. I would also like to recognize and thank the village marketing staff for putting this together. It's no easy task. It requires a lot of pre-planning and execution when we come and visit with each other today. I'd also like to recognize our Veterans Commission. I am the chairman, and I would like to introduce to you the other members of our commission: Norm Peslin, Jim Hudick, Karen Tavala, Jimmy Hunter, George Sannon, Chris Hansley, Don Tomich, Robert Bullard, Denise Hudick, and John Hudick, William McNellis, Fred Cagle, and associate members John Maher, Ken Rezes, and Bruce Hafner. I would be remiss if I did not recognize one of my right-hand person helping with the commission, and that's our commission secretary, Roxanne Tyson, who is seated on the stage with me. Thank you, Roxanne. The Badge of Military Merit, if you look inside your page 2, was designed by General George Washington in the form of a Purple Heart. It was intended as a military order for soldiers who exhibited not only instances of unusual gallantry in battle, but also extraordinary fidelity and essential service in any way. This is thought to be the first time in modern history that military awards have been presented to common soldiers. Most historians indicate that only 3 people received the Badge of Military Merit during the American Revolutionary War. All of them non-commissioned officers, and the only ones who received the award from General Washington himself. After the Revolutionary War, the Badge of Military Merit fell into disuse, although it was never officially abolished. In 1927, General Charles P. Summerall, the United States Army Chief of Staff, sent an unsuccessful draft bill to Congress to revive the Badge of Military Merit. Then, in 1931, Summerall's successor, you know the name, General Douglas MacArthur, took up the cause, hoping to reinstate the medal in time for the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. It happened. On February 22nd, 1932, Washington's 200th birthday, the U.S. War Department announced the creation of the Purple Heart. In addition to aspects of Washington's original design, the new Purple Heart also displays a bust of Washington and his coat of arms. This is in your program on page 2. The Order of Purple Heart, the oldest American military decoration for military merit, is presented in the name of the President of the United States to the members of the U.S. Armed Forces who have been killed or wounded in action against an enemy. It is also awarded to soldiers who have suffered maltreatment as prisoners of war. I have described for you the significance of the decoration bestowed upon those who were wounded or killed in service to our nation called the Purple Heart. A unique story of the Purple Heart has made its way into a chapter of our village history here in Tinley Park about one of our nation's heroes. I introduce Miss Roxanne Tyson to share the mystery that came in a cardboard box to her desk at Village Hall in December of 2021.
Good morning. As you know, my name is Roxanne Tyson, and I'm the Secretary of the Veterans Commission here in Tinley Park. Memorial Day is the day that is set aside to take pause, to remember all U.S. military members who gave the ultimate sacrifice, those that have fallen in battle. I would like to thank you all for being here, to take pause with us, and not only think about those military members that we have personally loved and lost, but all of the families of the service members who have been through the same. There are times that not only has a service member given their life in the line of duty, but while doing so, they have gone above and beyond their call of duty. When this occurs, that service member is awarded the Purple Heart posthumously, and the medal is sent to a designated family member. In November of last year, a resident of Tinley Park called Village Hall and asked to speak to someone about a box that was found tucked into a corner of their attic. The call was transferred to my voicemail, and at the first opportunity, I returned the call. Within the contents of this box was a Purple Heart, still in its case, engraved for a private first class, Gaylord R. Hoyle, and this is where the story begins. First, I would like to take a brief moment to recognize the Kirksey family. Please stand. For not just discarding the box and its contents, and its contents. They took the extra time and additional steps to ensure that this soldier's merits were not forgotten. On behalf of Mayor Glotz and the board, the Village of Tinley Park Veterans Commission, myself, Private First Class Hoyle's family, and all military personnel, thank you. Now, Mr. Kirksey had no idea who the soldier was, how long the box had been in the attic of the house, or which previous owner it may have belonged to. This part of the mystery is still unsolved. We have not been able to figure out how this Purple Heart got into an attic of a home in the Village of Tinley Park. Private First Class Hoyle was from Indiana. Osceola, to be exact. Osceola, Indiana, to be exact. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from here. This is where I came in, and after doing some quick cursory searching and coming up kind of empty, I reached out to our village historian, Mr. Brad Battenhausen, to see what, if anything, he would be able to find using his incredible sleuthing talents. Within a few days, Brad came back to me with what he found. He found an entry for Private Hoyle on honorstates.org. It was there that he discovered the most critical piece of information in our puzzle. In addition to Private First Class Hoyle's service information, was a comment posted in October of 2021, just the previous month to this medal being found. And that post was from a Mr. James Hammonds, that stated he was Private First Class Hoyle's nephew. Now, before I get to Mr. Hammonds, I would like to tell you what we found out about Private First Class Hoyle. He was a soldier during World War II. He served in the Army and was placed with the 47th Infantry Regiment, 9th Infantry Division, when he enlisted in January of 1943. He was 20 years old. He likely would have initially served in Italy, as it was where his regiment was fighting in 1943 when he joined them. The 47th landed on Utah Beach on D-Day +4, June 10, 1944, and within 4 days joined with the 16th Infantry Regiment, where they were able to block the last escape route for German soldiers that were contained in the Côte Peninsula in France. Around June 25th, the 47th, along with other sister regiments, were the first Allied forces to enter the city of Cherbourg. In doing so, they faced very stubborn German opposition. On July 9th, 1944, the soldiers of the 47th 9th found themselves immersed in what is known as the Battle of the Hedgerows. This is known as one of the bloodiest battles and toughest encounters of the French campaign. Around 1 week later, Private First Class Coyle found himself going toe-to-toe with the Germans. He had already taken out 2 German machine gun nests and was on his 3rd when he was mortally wounded. Private First Class Coyle was 21 years old. He died of his wounds on July 16, 1944 in the Normandy area of France. In 1948, 1949, Private First Class Coyle's father had his body moved from France to be reinterred in St. Joseph County, Indiana at the Osceola Cemetery. In addition to being awarded the Purple Heart, he would have also received the World War II Victory Medal, American Campaign Medal, and the Army Presidential Unit Citation. I would like to thank the following for their assistance with some of the research I needed to find Mr. Hammonds. Brad Battenhausen, Village Historian. Bruce Hafner, Village of Tinley Park Historical Society, which if you haven't gotten there, you really should take a look at it. And Carleen Williams of the Elkhart County Genealogical Society, who provided me with several phone numbers and a physical address for Mr. Hammonds. I would also like to thank Mr. Greg Rivara, the Deputy Chief of Communications with the State of Illinois Treasurer's Office, and Julie Plummer Parrish, the Administrative Assistant at Trinity Lutheran Church and School. These folks were in the standing by to assist me with any further research if I needed it. So I'd like to thank all of you. I would like to thank the following for arranging transportation to bring Mr. Hammonds from Osceola, Indiana to Tinley Park: American Legion Commander Bill McNellis and VFW Commander Fred Cagle. At this point, I would like to present the posthumously awarded Purple Heart belonging to Private First Class Gaylord R. Coyle back to his nephew, James Hammonds. Mr. Coyle, here is your uncle's Purple Heart.
I'd just like to say a little bit about Gaylord myself. He was a marksman first class 7 times, including hand grenade. And the lady he had met sent a letter to him and wanted to know where he was going to put all his medals at. And they got pictures. I mean, he's this robe with marksman's medals. And he was trained in, he was a frontline scout, trained in winter warfare, skied, and he was Browning automatic rifleman. He got it at Sandberg Bruce is where he got it at the hedgerows. And he was a BR rifleman. And like you said, he was on his 3 machine gun, that's when he got it. And when he came out the door, my grandmother knew it was either my dad or Gaylord. And she completely lost it. She took off running, screaming. She was gone. And my granddad, he went through hell in World War I. He survived a gas attack. He's got 8 battle scars. And you guys ever saw trench foot? I'm telling you what, it ain't a pretty thing to see. So anyways, his hair completely fell out. And my dad was in Italy. My dad was a combat medic in Italy, an MTO. And, okay, I'm sorry. So anyways, yeah. God bless everybody.
Thank you, Roxanne. Each year, nearly 38,000 high school students from across the country enter to win a share of $2.2 million in educational scholarships and incentives awarded through the VFW's Voice of Democracy audio essay competition. The Voice of Democracy program is open to students grade 9 through 12. This year, VFW Brennan Post 2791 has selected as their winning entree Kyle Tabay. He is a senior at Tinley Park High School. Please welcome Kyle Tabay.
I'll now read my speech. When looking back in history, not only learn about the world before us, but we also start to understand the current world. Learning our history helps us move forward. The mistakes that occurred in the past are tools for the future generations. With this being said, what does the future even hold? More importantly, where do we go from here? Questions like these possess a multitude of possible answers, but can be narrowed down to some key ideas. When moving forward, it can be self-evident that all of humanity will strive for a world with absolute sense of equality, stronger sense of community, and an unproblematic sense of security, all using the tools of history. Equality was one of the many major problems in our history. Inequality was expressed in many different ways, like the discrimination of race, gender, origin, beliefs, and many more. However, throughout the time, the world has gotten much better at equal opportunities for all parties. The gender wage gap has shrunk tremendously, segregation has been mostly eradicated, acceptance of all religions has come a long way, and many more improvements have been made within our ideas of equality. This being said, there is still an unhealthy amount of inconsistency in the world. It can still be seen in our society that unfortunately there are still people in the world who don't believe in non-discrimination and diversity. As we move on and learn from the path to absolute equality should never come to a halt. The conversation of equivalence should never go silent. A world that does not have to worry about equality is a world that can use the time and energy on other issues and thus moving forward towards a higher future. In the future, globalization will inevitably make the world a smaller place. In the past, information would take days or months to reach the corners of the globe. Today, it's not even hard to meet someone across the globe and build an actual relationship. With this sense of new community, it's easier to get information first. As we move on from the past, it should be obvious that society as a whole will become closer together. Having a strong community is an important factor in moving forward. When you have a strong community, you have a united body that improves together, learns from each other, and grows from each other. When looking at our current state of humanity, it is obvious that we have not reached that point just yet, where we accept each other for who we are individually, and looking at the big picture, it looks like we're a long way from that. However, as we look back to the past and continue our path, we will soon learn how to love and care for each other and move on like a big family. Although it seems difficult, I hope to see the world move forward, move towards the future being filled with a strong sense of connection and community that when we will truly move forward. In continuing our legacy, security will surely become a bigger topic as we go further into development. Security is very important because it protects the rights of the people and creates confidence within the community. Historically speaking, security has been an important concept. For example, preventing enemies from getting our information, keeping our world leaders safe, and preserving consistency. As the years pass by, security must still be in the conversation. Without security, there is no order, especially in today's world. For example, online, your information is most likely being tracked by something or someone. In the current state of the U.S., there has been a war that has been going on for almost 20 years, the war in Afghanistan. With this war, our freedoms have been constantly under attack. The government is checking all of our activity constantly and keeps us under their watch at all times. In the future, I hope to live in a society where I can control who receives my private information and who doesn't, thus making the world a more secure place. When we ask ourselves, where do we go from here, we can always look back at our past mistakes and plan our strategies using the tools of history. In the coming world, we hope to see a world where we are equal, united, and secure. A world where we can advance together in security, to leave a better home to the future generations to come, and continue to move forward.
Did a good job, didn't he? He misplaced my program. We'll get there. No, sir. No. There's more to it than that credit. You have to admit, for a young man, if I were that age, I'd have a difficult time coming up here and speaking in front of a whole bunch of people. I applaud this young man. There's also the Patriots Pen Essay. It's another national competition sponsored by the VFW. The theme for the annual VFW Patriots Pen Essay Competition is, "What is patriotism to me?" The contest is open to all students in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. This year, the winning recipient, representing VFW Post 2791, is Parker Tate. He recently graduated with high honors from Trinity Lutheran School. In addition to winning the Patriots Pen competition, he won at the state level and was selected to receive the Department of Washington and Auxiliary Eric G. Sandstrom Memorial Award. Please welcome Parker Tate.
To be a good American is to focus on the things that bring us all together, while still celebrating the things that make us all different. In the past, America used to be referred to as a melting pot, where immigrants from all different countries melted together to become one culture. This merging into American culture, however, caused them to lose their individual cultures and traditions. Today, there seems to be a new theory that America is now referred to as a salad bowl. I like this theory because it says that while we all come together as one, we all still keep our distinct cultures, traditions, beliefs, etc. Nothing gets melted together to create a new culture, but instead we are all just mixed together to live in harmony. We celebrate and come together for holidays and festivities of all cultures, like 4th of July, Cinco de Mayo, Chinese New Year, Kwanzaa, just to name a few. To be a good American, we should stand together and fight for each other, instead of fighting against each other. As Americans, we should be tolerant and accepting of all cultures, races, religions, sexual orientations, and beliefs. Hate tears apart and divides us as a country. So to be a good American, we need to focus on loving and supporting each other as individuals. As Americans, we should follow and obey the laws put forth by our leaders, but also not be afraid to speak up when those rights are violated or taken away from us. Another way for us to be good Americans is to take care of this country and planet for future generations. We all have a moral obligation to do our part to help and not ignore the environmental problems we are all facing. If we all work together instead of arguing, we can make some real positive changes. We all call America home, so we all have to take care of it. The real way to keep the nation great and to be a good American is to simply treat everyone with respect and dignity. No one person or culture is better than anyone else's, period.
These young men represent the future of our leaders in this country. The VFW American Legions reach out to the high schools, not to teach them about bearing arms. It's about civic and civil responsibility. So I would encourage each of you, if you have access to the leadership at the high school or any school level, to encourage them to allow the VFW American Legion to come to their schools and talk to these young people. We need to keep America free. One of the projects in the Veterans Commission here in Tinley Park is Heroes Walk, which is directly behind me. where paver bricks may be purchased and inscribed with the name and information about the veteran being honored. They may be alive or they may be deceased. It's strictly an honor to recognize someone that was served in this military services. The paver is placed according to the Veterans Branch of Service along Heroes Walkway, leading to the 80th Street train station and General Patrick E. Ray Veterans Plaza. The bricks are a permanent tribute to your veteran. The black granite monuments that border the Heroes Walk designate each branch of service. The open circle in each granite signifies those POWs, MIAs, unaccounted for. This program is available to anyone from Tinley Park as well as surrounding communities. At this time, I would like to recognize Veterans Commission John Hudick to present the newly recognized veterans and placement of the pavers in their honor.
Good morning. It's my honor to be able to announce the names that were recently added. In honor of Andrew Tess, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Sarah Jane Taylor, U.S. Air Force, which we just heard a great story about her, and I'd love you to share that if you had time. Sergeant John Murphy, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam veteran. Donald J. Peterson, World War II, North Atlantic, USS. Oh boy, very good. In loving memory of Salvador J. Alonzo, U.S. Army, 1967 to 1970. In honor of Donald Rizip, hopefully I pronounced this, and please don't destroy me if I don't. Rizip, Vietnam Army. And last but not least, Christine Lyons, U.S. Navy, 2007 to 2011. Thank you.
At Arlington Cemetery, a wreath is laid by the President of the United States at the Tomb of the Unknowns. We conduct a similar tribute here in Tinley Park. Commanders of American Legion Post 715 and VFW Bremen Post 2791, along with the Commandant of Ken Clark Tinley Park Marine Corps League Detachment 1217, will now conduct the placement of the wreath. Officer of the Day, take charge. Was become a Memorial Day ceremony tradition. The members representing all of our service organizations will proudly conduct the Battlefield Cross ceremony. Leading them in this tribute is Command Sergeant Major Fred Cagle, U.S. Army retired. Command Sergeant Major Cagle, take command.
Thank you, Doc. Detail! Attempt, pull! Forward, pull! Time, mark. Detail, pull. 1, 2. My name is Command Sergeant Major Cagle. I'm part of the VFW Post 2791 Honor Guard in Tinley Park. Shortly, we will be building a Battlefield Cross, also known as the Battle Cross, in memories of our servicemen and women who have been killed in the action in the past current wars, conflicts. Without the armed forces of the United States of America, we would not have the freedom we enjoy today, for freedom is never free. Unfortunately, all wars have been costly for our men and women in armed forces. Between Iraq and Afghanistan, we have lost over 6,796 Americans and many more wounded. While that number may seem small in context in the past wars, their loss and the loss to their family and community is of great consequences. When the serviceman and women is lost in the battlefield, it has become customary to arrange their boots, rifles, dog tags, and helmets, and the surviving members of the squad will gather around in honor of their fallen comrade. Some of the troops will pray, others may recall personal stories, but make no mistake, this is a ceremony that is taken very seriously. Every soldier knows that the next ceremony may be for them. The Honor Guard members from the VFW, American Legion, and Marine Corps League will now build a monument in front of you. A monument that anyone who's ever served in the military will recognize. Post! The weapon has been inspected, the magazine removed, the last round has been fired. Post! The military identification tags are commonly referred to as dog tags. This set is blank, no name, no serial number, or religious preference. They represent all those who have died in the service to their country. Post. The helmet, a valuable piece of equipment, more than just for protection. I mean, they have shaved in it, bathed in it, even cooked in it. This helmet will no longer be used. Post. These boots, worn and without polish, demonstrates the trails that's endured. These boots, which are threadbare, shall never touch the ground again. Gather around, make a circle. Present, arms. Order, arms. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. The members now will stand fast for the roll call. Last roll call. This is the final tribute paid by soldiers to their fallen comrades. The roll call is accountability conducted by the first sergeant following combat. The last roll call, as you were. Although sometimes painful to listen through, the last roll call is called with conviction held by soldiers that all unit members will be accounted for and none will ever be forgotten. Master Sergeant Duran.
Here, Sergeant Major.
Sergeant Lee.
Here, Sergeant Major.
Sergeant Porter.
Here, Sergeant Major.
Sergeant Norm. Okay.
Here, Sergeant
Corday McCoster, United States Marine Corps, Motor Battery, 1st Battalion, 13 Marines, K2, TL Vietnam, 18 August 1968. PLC J. Novak, PLC Novak, PLC J. Novak, PSC Edward J. Novak, United States Marine Corps, G Company, 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines. Killed in action, Quang Nam, Vietnam, 22 August 1970. Staff Sergeant Sutter, Staff Sergeant Sutter, Staff Sergeant Michael J. Sutter, Staff Sergeant Michael J. Sutter, United States Army, 745th Ordnance Company, killed in action at Bakuba, Iraq, December 2003. Corporal Clark, Corporal Clark, Corporal Kevin M. Clark, Corporal Kevin M. Clark, United States Marine Corps, 1st Battalion, 7th Marines Regiment, killed in action in El Anabar, Iraq, 19 February 2005. All veterans, please rise and redeem your hand salute. Present arms. Order arms. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and if possible and face the outside flagpole for the raising of the colors. Raise colors. Present arms. Fine Spa, take charge. Play taps. Reset. Arms. You may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Once again, I invite Father Paul Seaman to close with a benediction, and I hope he doesn't scare me this time.
God of all, we bless your name as we conclude this time of remembrance. As we honor those who have died, let us live as a people who choose to unite rather than divide, speak grateful rather than grouse, to enjoy the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, not only for ourselves, but for all the tired, the poor, the huddled masses who yearn to breathe free down to this very day. These are the ones of which this country is built, and for whom we honored these dead, gave the last full measure of devotion. As we cherish our rights, help us to be prudent in the exercise thereof, recognizing the responsibilities that go with these rights. And this day and every day be marked by a humble prayer that God bless America. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Father Seaman. There are 3 major days during the course of every year where we recognize our military who serve or have served to protect our freedom. The first is Armed Forces Day. It falls on the 3rd Saturday of May. It celebrates all those who currently serve in the military. Today, Memorial Day, is observed on the last Monday in May. It recognizes and honors those who died during and after military service to our nation. It was originally known as Decoration Day. Veterans Day is observed on November 11. It is the only one of these 3 that has a specific date of the month and a specific time, 1100 hours. Unlike the other holidays, Veterans Day may occur on any day of the week. It recognizes and honors those who have previously served in the military. It was originally known as Armistice Day. Our nation thanks them on Armed Forces Day, remembers them on Memorial Day, and honors them on Veterans Day, but let us never forget them on any day. The Veterans Commission values you for attending our Memorial Day ceremony. You being here today means being respectful. You being here today means being committed to freedom. You being here today means being American.